Thanks. So like Don said, my name is Matthew Salyer. I took the software development class from CodeU. A little bit about me, currently a teacher in JCPS. I have a 7-month-old baby. So doing this class and learning these new skills while also going through that process was a journey that will stick with me forever, but I'm thankful for it. I'm a musician. I spent my first 4 years, my degrees in music education, my first 4 years of teaching were teaching band. And that's still a passion that I take with me everywhere I go. And I'm just always looking for the next thing to learn, always looking to better myself. And on that note, that's why I signed up for Code U. Teaching is hard. If you didn't know that, dealing with middle schoolers is what I teach specifically all day, every day. It's just exhausting. COVID was a big wake-up call. If you're not familiar, JCPS was virtual almost that entire school year. And the relief that I got, not necessarily from not having less to do, but having more organized time to do it, was just huge for me. And so I started to begin looking for skills and networking that would lead me to a career change. I took some other coding classes online, but Code Louisville really helped my confidence, really helped my skills grow, so that I'm in a place where I feel comfortable making that change now. So my project was called What's in My Freezer? Simply, it's just a personal freezer inventory system. And I created this because my wife and I are always double buying things, or we don't communicate what we don't have. And so our grocery orders always end up with, maybe 5 bags of frozen vegetables, but no meat to go with it. So I wanted something useful and applicable that her and I could use together to help keep ourselves organized. So let's take a look inside the freezer. This is what the home page would look like, just a simple menu. The nav bar at top travels with you wherever you go on the page. And then you're just met with these 3 options. You can add, you can view, or you can remove. So when you add items, my original plan was to allow scanning from a webcam to scan the UPC code. Unfortunately, my webcam was not high enough quality. I tried and tried and tried. But I eventually, that was a change of gears for me. I had to switch it up, and instead of scanning with the web code, I just went with typing the UPC code in. So if you just turn the product around, find the UPC code, you type it in, and you have the add another item button. You can add up to 25 unique items at a time doing this. Type in the quantity, and then the calendar automatically goes to that date. Of course, you can change that as needed. If you don't have the UPC code, you can just leave it blank or just type in whatever, and you will be met with this page where you can assign the name you want for the product, and you can select the category for the product. And then it will randomly assign a UPC code. It will just generate one. So that way, anytime you add that to your database, to your freezer again, it knows where to go. It doesn't have to recreate that. So when you finish adding, if you have given a valid UPC code, it uses Google's taxonomy categories to create a category for your project. Now, notice, or for your product, notice those 3 foods are not freezer foods: pasta, dark chocolate, almonds, crunchy peanut butter. My desk was just a smorgasbord of snacks around me, which was a good excuse to eat while I was working on this all the time. But it shows you the quantity that you added, and it assigns that category. Thought it was interesting that crunchy peanut butter does not have its own category. It's just plugged in there to the umbrella of food, beverages, and tobacco. But that is just a helpful way to keep things organized. So that way, if you want to see what's in your freezer, if you just go to view the items, view your freezer, it just creates a list, firstly alphabetical. Then you can, of course, sort it by quantity. You can sort it by oldest to newest, newest to oldest, or you can sort it by category. So if you just typed in pasta, you could see all the things that would be in there that would be under the pasta category would show up. So if you wanted to know what your oldest pasta was, that way you could get it all out. Or if you're specifically in the freezer, which pounded beef has been in here the longest, you can find that specific one and pull it out. And then when you remove things from your freezer, it just generates a drop-down list of all the items in your freezer, and you type in how many you want to remove, and it would just take it out. and it gives you a success screen to verify that you've removed the thing that you wanted to take out. This project relies heavily on interfaces. And so even though that was something we covered in class, that was having that practice with that was huge, and also learning more about Entity Framework Core. A lot of the difficulties I ran into were just data migration, time management. Again, like teaching full time, I had a 7-month-old baby. Trying to find all the time to get this done was a challenge in and of itself. And then again, the physical limitations with my webcam only being 720p and not getting that clear image that was needed. It's disappointing, but it helped me to just navigate around that challenge and find a better way to solve it. So if you want to contact me, you can find me there at GitHub, at LinkedIn, or the social formerly known as Twitter. And my email is matthew.salyer3@gmail.com.